I'm going to go ahead and introduce my friends on the panel. First and foremost, I want to bring up a very, very special young lady to all of us. You know exactly what she's done and been doing. Clap it up for Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, everybody.
Right after Melissa, we got my dog. He's a big dog. Y'all seen him on Alberto. Come out here and be your best. Alberto! Good to see you. That's a strong flatline. Look at that. Right after Alberto, I want y'all to clap it up for one of the coldest in the game. His energy is always high. Y'all know what to do. Clap it up for Kenny. Kenny, come on, man. Yeah. Me and Kenny might do a push-up contest after this.
We'll do it on stage.
Right here on stage. Right after Kenny, we got my main man, Big Dog David. Come on out here. Y'all be better than that for David. Come on, Dave. Last but not least, I've been waiting on this one all day. I'm not even going to waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for the very special Dora. Yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our panelists. Can y'all clap it up? So, excuse me. As the moderator of this panel, I feel like it's important for me to at least kick it off with something like a question. Alright? And this question ain't gonna be hard, it's gonna be extremely easy. I feel like what the people, all the people wanna know right now, so far, is what has been your highlight for the day. Dora, we can start with you. It looks like you got something on your mind.
Well, my highlight of the day, other than like being here and like seeing all my old friends and seeing all of you, is it's my daughter's birthday today. So that's my highlight.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to your daughter. Can y'all clap it up for her daughter's birthday? 4 years old. That's a strong age. She's on her way. How about you, Dave?
For being here, like you said, being fans and having a good time. My son's best friend moved to Chicago about 2 years ago. And he got to come with me, and they're going to hang out all day. That's kind of what I like to do.
Copy that. Copy that. Anytime we got friends and family in the pocket, that's good. Then we go. How about you, Kenny?
I got a caramel iced macchiato first thing in the morning. I do every morning. That was like, my highlight to wake up.
Right.
And then all the fans that came up have been awesome so far. And the little Q&A room that we have was really cool. And then getting to meet you guys right now, man. Like, she's friends with a girl on SWAT right now, Anna. That's like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Human being, and dude, and this is being here.
Great. Alberto, what's up, bro? It's been a minute, man. You been all right?
No, highlight for me, I always get kind of nervous at these things, so whenever I see familiar faces, it makes me kind of calm down. So I see a lot of familiar faces, good to recognize people. So thank you guys for coming. And that's a highlight.
Copy that, Alberto.
I have to echo what you say. Seeing familiar faces, people that I've seen over the years, has been really amazing, and I always really appreciate your artwork to our shows, the special things that you make, the friendship bracelets that you bring us. It's just really touching. And never in a million years would I have ever thought that I would be here in this position with these wonderful people and wonderful you. So thanks for being here, you guys. We wouldn't be here without you.
Exactly. How about yourself? What's your highlight today?
My highlight? Man, so I'm not sure if you all have, like, there are these twins called the London Twins.
Oh, yeah.
I love the London Twins.
Right.
They've given me some of the best gifts over time. Today I saw them again.
Yeah.
And they gave my son a bracelet that I know he's going to thoroughly enjoy. But the best thing that they've ever given me, once upon a time, they gave me this big, giant throw with me and my son's face on it.
Oh, man.
He was on my shoulders, just like a picture from me and him from back in the day.
Oh,
and I still got that throw in my trailer. I still take that, put that jam, it's still extremely impressive. And so, and and so I understand exactly what y'all are saying when you say, like, you know, from the heart, people that just come in here and they pour into us, and it truly nourishes us. I think, if not, probably more than it might nourish you all, honestly. And so, thank everybody for just always, you know, just being so pure and really just reaching out from the heart. That's nothing but love, man.
Your energy kind of makes me hot. I get hot. You know what I mean? No, it's intoxicating. It's like the energy that comes from you guys, from me, I just get, it makes me 10 times more. So, like, I totally appreciate it. Yeah.
No, truly energizes us. And so we know that, you know, just from what we do, we're grateful for the opportunity that we have to tell amazing stories. And we wouldn't be able to tell these stories at a high level if it wasn't for you all, right? And so we know that we have you all to thank, and we're very grateful for you. But individually, if we can think about somebody in our lives, right, that helped us get to this point to where we're able to tell these stories at a high level, who would that be? Who would you not be here without in your personal life, whether it's a mentor, a mom, a dad, what do you think? And that can go for anybody, whoever's ready.
I feel like I wouldn't be an actor if it weren't for my cousin, because she was the first person I ever knew to like pursue the arts like that. But then I wouldn't be, I feel like, here at this panel if it weren't for Matt Homestead, the like creator of our show, because he and Derek Haas were really involved in the like beginnings of like the Chicago franchise and stuff. And like he kind of wrote my part, Chili, like kind of specifically for me. And so it was like one of those things where like I probably wouldn't be here, I wouldn't really have been like as big of a part of the show if he hadn't been like, let's make that girl her twin sister on another show, you know? So that was like one of those moments where that's like validating when someone who's like up here and someone who's created something great is like, you've got something special, kid, and like that feels kind of awesome. So I just like think about that and I think about like the people that make these shows and like how like these characters take their brain and how grateful.
That's definitely special. I'll never forget when we found out that was happening. And we thought that was such a unique opportunity. You know, on those big wolf shows, sometimes they say that you gotta wait a certain amount of time before you can come back. But when they feel so good about your talent that they get creative and they make you a twin of yourself, that's how you do it.
You know what's funny is, so I love Law and Order SVU. Like it's almost to the point where like I feel like I'm surprised when I see an episode that I haven't seen. And Amanda Rollins, I don't know if anyone's fans of that show, but she's queen, right? But she appeared as like a victim like 3 seasons before she came back as Amanda Rollins. And I was like, yo, like they have done it again. And so I was like, yeah, it was one of those things I was like, okay, cool, like that's kind of funny.
Yeah. When they like you, they gonna show you.
Yeah, they're like, I created this show, I can do whatever I want.
Absolutely. What about you, Dave?
I think my mom was just she had a tenacity to her. Like there was no obstacle that she did not keep fighting against until she figured out how to get over it, around it, or under it, or through it. And when I think about challenges, I think, oh man, this isn't going to work. I just think, no, I can figure out a way to make this work. It's got to be like my mom always did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think about her a lot as far as all the success really comes through her, not really her words, it's her actions. You know, that's what she's like.
That's great. That's great. Can we clap it up for Dave's mom? I'm interested.
What was it for? Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yes, it's not a very good answer. I think I was like really lost in my life and fucked up for like a long time, and I was going down a really dark path, and you know, been arrested 5 times and didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. And somebody brought me a script one day, and he had written for himself and I, and said, "I want you to do this." I said, "No, I'm not an actor, man. I'm not going to do this." So he talked me into it. It took him about a month for me to agree to it, and first day of shooting, I want to say like we're about 100 people all around. I was standing there with him, like, you know, like very calm, didn't know really what was to expect, and I heard a roll sound, and as soon as they said action, it was like I was in a Jim Carrey movie where everything kind of froze and stood still and didn't move, and this thing kind of went through me and said, this is what you're going to do the rest of your life, and it whooshed out the back of me, and then everything started moving again. So I followed. I didn't want to do it. I did the movie. It was a film festival thing that won a bunch of awards, and I'm like, fuck this acting. I'm not going to act it because I had too many issues personally that I didn't want to have to address. And the thing kind of haunted me every day, and so I thought, you know what, this is like really like every day I wake up and that thing just kept, that voice that told me I was supposed to do this, follow this, is what you're going to do the rest of your life. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to try it, I found this guy, Larry Moss, who directed like Hilary Swank and $1 Million Baby and the other movie, and then he's worked with Leo DiCaprio on every film he's done. And he's a really good coach, so I went with this guy, Larry Moss, who kind of changed my life because he called me out on everything, couldn't be a victim in life and with myself, and he knew I had a lot of issues, said you gotta go to therapy, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Once you're 18, you're an adult, you have to reprogram the way you think and how you approach life. And you know, and I had, a dad who was a big kind of physical abusive guy, and he hit and screamed, belittled a lot. So I think growing up I had zero self-esteem. But I had heard so much rejection from him that when I decided to try the acting, and everyone's like, nah, you can't do this, man, you're no good, you can never act, you can never act. I'm like, okay, you can say that, but for some reason, rejection didn't ever affect me because I had kind of felt it in a way that was a lot more deep, so I thought, this is what I'm gonna do. And I know, in God's space and time, it's all gonna come together, and I just kind of stuck with it, and, started out doing I got Pensacola Wings of Gold, then I did Shield, then I did Saving Grace with Holly Hunter, then SOA with Kurt Sutter, then Bates Motel, and then got on to SWAT for 7 years and just finished Mayor of Kingstown. So I've been super lucky and blessed and kind of just followed that path for me. But Larry Moss kind of changed my life. I mean, my circumstances probably, although I felt very angry and not happy about who I was and what I was dealt, but it was an opportunity for me to understand it, process it, and then put it out in a very neutral way and understanding where a lot of characters come from.
Wow.
So that's my.
Thank God you stayed down with the good, man. Let's have a Thank God very true, bro. You got a voter on us, man.
Huh?
We needed that.
Oh, okay.
We needed that.
I don't have any candy answers, I'm sorry.
No, bro. How about you, Alberto?
My family played a big role, but I really have to, right now, because I met a few teachers in the audience, I had 3 or 4 educators that really kind of pushed me on a path. In 7th grade, I had an English teacher, Mrs. Conrad, who I was really chatty as a kid. So she would stop class and look at me and be like, Alberto, you want to be an actor. Your words are your tools. Stop fooling around. I was in 7th grade, and at that point, I was in the school play, so I hadn't told anyone I wanted to be an actor, but she kind of saw that. And then, the next year, I had this teacher, Miss Fernandez, who I thought hated me, and then I found out that she actually really liked me, and that's why she was always telling me about doing my work and doing. And I thought it was so annoying until I found out, and now I thought that was really cool. And then I had a teacher in my junior year of high school named Mrs. Cruden, who, not that my other English teachers didn't do this well, just she was the first person to make reading and books the coolest thing I've ever seen. She had such a way that she could describe reading and bring you into a novel that sometimes had text that was difficult to read. But if it weren't for her, I feel like that was one of the big ones where I was like, storytelling, this is so powerful. And when you read, you get to talk to people that lived hundreds of years ago. So that was also a thing she kind of brought up. I liked your class so much, I took it again the next year. And now I like reading a lot. So I have to tell a few teachers I had. Teachers, you guys do so much. Yeah. And I can't shout you out enough. So
You got your teachers in the room?
everyone.
Okay. Thank y'all.
I will have to echo everyone on this panel. A lot of family support. My mom was huge, start of my career. But I think no's than we ever have had a handful of yeses. It's just that the yeses were so big that they brought us to this stage. I mean, I say this very honestly. On Teen Wolf, you know, they offered the part to 3 of the girls. They all said no, but I said yes, you know? But it's the belief of the people that are watching our work that they believe enough to say yes to us, I think is really the people that we should be thanking, whoever they are. What creative down the line, it could be a casting director, it could be a creator, it could be a producer, it could be your best friend that just worked with you, that worked on another show, like it could be anything, but those few dozen people that have the spark to say yes are the ones to thank today.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's good. Can I tell you a story? So I'm from Harvey, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago. Born and raised, right? Where I came from, if you want to avoid the temptations that most, hoods have for people like me, you have to play basketball, and you have to be good. And then there were the other things that you could have done. There was games, there was drugs, but basketball kind of like made me not have to do certain things, which I was grateful for. I went to my high school only to play basketball, and that's what my high school was known for. And then all of a sudden, because I had this history class, a teacher of mine told me that I should be on the speech team. I didn't know what speech was, for real. But I was something like a class clown, and I had a great sense of humor, good energy. So I did my best. I tried out for the speech team. Before I knew it, I was thoroughly enjoying myself. But speech team and the basketball season were around the same time. So I had a lot of hard work to do. I wasn't really giving 100% to either one. My coaches could tell. My grandfather would have to pick me up from the speech tournament. I wouldn't be able to really go to the award ceremony because it was a layup line all the way in Kankakee. I had to hurry up to find myself in. And then finally, as my coaches, they would argue with each other and they would put the pressure on my young mind to decide which one I wanted to do. I had no idea. And I remember my grandfather, Grandpa John, he asked me, what felt better? Watching that ball go through the net or making people laugh? And to be honest with you, making people laugh was the way it hit at that time. I couldn't turn it down. And so Grandpa John, he told me, well, what we're going to do is go to basketball practice, and we're going to talk to your coach. And we're not going to tell him that you're quitting the game, because you can always come back. But we're going to tell him that you're leaving the game for now to go be a champion in another. And I never forget that conversation. And I walked up to my coach, who was like this hard-nosed mob type of guy. His name was Coach T. I never forget him. Italian. And he was like, you going to do what? And I said, Coach T, I'm going to be a champion on the speech team. And he sat the whole team down in the bleachers and he said, you tell them the thespian. He didn't say that. He obviously said lesbian, but he didn't know the difference at the time. He said, you tell the team the lesbian stuff you leave the team to. I'm dead serious. And he sits the whole team down and he makes me perform my speech routine. Did I make him laugh? I heard it. And it was that moment, performing for my team and them like giving me almost the permission to authentically be myself. And they were like, bro, that's what you do. You go do that, and we'll be all right. And I ain't really looked back ever since. So I thank Coach T. I'm not gonna hold you. I thank Coach T for putting me in that pocket because I think he made me a fearless performer. And as storytellers, we need moments like those because we gonna have to reference something one day.
Yeah.
For real, for real. I appreciate y'all sharing those stories. How y'all feeling out there so far? How we doing? We doing okay? I think it's important for us to probably, since and I'm just freeballing the time that we have, but I'm almost positive we should probably get into some crowd questions if that's what we have. Because I hate when the crowd questions and we only have time for like 2.5. So if we're good on time, I think we can start with whoever's willing to walk up to the mic. Look at him, so enthusiastic.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Hello, my name is Madison. And the question is for Kenny. I'm so happy to see you today.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is your favorite scene of the SWAT and character?
Who's my favorite character? Oh.
And scene.
She's saying it.
Let me see. His favorite scene. God, that's a crazy one. You know, like I God. So I would probably go to school shooting. You know, we did an episode on school shooting, and as painful as it was, a lot of that was happening in America way too much at the time. And I think researching and meeting some of the family members of the kids that had lost their lives meant a lot to me. So that episode in particular, and pretty much all the scenes within the school shootings while we were going through, because it was a very touchy subject to address at that time, probably were one of the things that I would say meant the most to me. There's a serial killer episode also where I got this rapist, and I had, I'm tied pretty close with that subject matter. People that I know and some personal stuff. So that I think, was another one that was highly volatile for me. And I like playing things that hit really close to home, Yeah. But in reality, like driving Black Betty and kicking ass and shit, that's probably the funnest stuff to do. But emotionally, the other stuff, I like challenging the heartstrings that really kind of feel real. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Great question.
Oh, you're so kind. Oh, you want me to pick one? I could.
Hi guys. My name is Lexi. I'm from New York, and my question is for you, Alberto. Personality-wise, which one of your characters are you most like? Are you most like Gallo, or are you most like Simon? I'm just really curious to know.
That's a really good question. I feel like I'm like both of them in a similar way. Simon has that really fun, like geeky, nerdy quality where he reads a lot and watches a lot of fun shows. There's a lot of that in me. Gallo has like the athlete that I was a lot of my life as well. So I think they're both like, one of the cool things about this job is you get to pick parts of you to put in, and I try to put as much as I can. So I'd say it's like 50-50. I can tell you that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello. So my question is for Alberto and or any of you others if you have something to tell. What's your relationship to adrenaline, and did that change by playing firefighter?
Oh, cool question. When I was really, I feel like when you're a little kid, you do take a lot of risks. And then there was a period of my life where you kind of get confronted with mortality. So you realize quickly that that's not really the vibe anymore. I'm no longer afraid of heights because my character was put in a lot of situations where I was constantly hanging from something or on top of something. So it's a cool relationship with adrenaline in the sense that now I know what it feels like, but I also have processes to stay calm and not let my head get ahead of myself. Because if you can just kind of keep that in check, you can pretty much do anything.
Do you ever do things just for the adrenaline, like for fun?
No. Not that I'm like super safe, but like my brother's kind of an adrenaline guy. Like he climbs mountains, he swims with sharks, he does all the really cool stuff. And whenever I talk to him about it, because he freaked my little brother, so I freak out when I'm like, wait, you're just going to be in the middle of the ocean? He's like, yeah, but it's going to be great. I'm like, what are you talking about? He always goes back to this idea of like, I'm not taking risks to take risks, I'm taking calculated risks because of the reward. Like, I know what I'm doing, I know my threshold of what I'm willing to accept, and like the plus or minus 3 of that. And I'm not going to push myself outside of my risk threshold, but I know pretty well. It's not a very comforting answer, but at least he thinks about it. He's aware of that. So.
Great question. Let's start with you.
Hi, my name is Larry. My question is for Dora and Alberto. If you were offered a job today back at Chicago Fire, would you take it?
Oh.
Yeah, I would definitely come back. I had a really good time on the show, and you know, I like Chicago a lot, and I love money more than all of this. So yes, I would absolutely come back. The craft. I'm sorry, it's the heart. It's the craft.
I just left. I just left. I would love to come back for like an episode to see everyone. There were some crew members I didn't get to say, like bye to, right? And when you work on a show, I'm sure you guys all know, you definitely have like a family like bond with a lot of the people you work with. But I wouldn't come back permanently. I like the way the story kind of ended for Gallo, and I love the new people that we got to see come on, and the other people whose stories are getting really talked about. So I'd stay with them.
Yeah, I feel like Chili would be like a trauma counselor or something. I don't think she would go back to being a paramedic. I think that she needed to not do that anymore.
Gallo, Alberto, would you come back as a twin? Yeah, a Gallo twin.
It depends, right? Because like the funny thing is like they told my character I didn't have any family and I was like an orphan, and then when I left they were like, no, you're going to see family in Detroit. So I'd have to see that script.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex. I have a question just for anyone. What role that you played or part you played has made the most impact on you, whether it be from the character itself or the people you were with?
I mean, for me, Len and the Shield, I'm going back a ways, but the Shield for me kind of was like iconic and game-changing for me in every kind of way with writing and characters and content and the relationships that we built on that show. And it kind of started FX Network up, and it kind of built from there. So that by far was mine for me. Yeah. Have you ever seen the Shield? I don't know. It's a good show.
No, she was hard. I would have to say, definitely Atwater for me. And the most powerful part about playing Atwater is that he's actually from my hometown of Harvey, Illinois. And I talk a lot about Harvey because I think some Grandpa John always taught me is like, you know, if home is where the heart is, then at home is where it starts. And so a lot of what I do my best to pour back into my own community. And very recently, it was like last week, we were shooting a very big episode of Chicago PD in my hometown of Harvey, specifically in the old house that I lived in when I booked the show, on my mom's old block. Oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I had to go to like,
Was that on purpose? Was that planned?
what locations was looking for a weak basement in my neighborhood, and I was like, I don't know if that's weaker than the basement I left. And so they went by there, took some pictures, and it ended up being perfect. And before we knew it, like the whole hood was lit, and everybody got a little piece of the action. My dad, who has a lawn care service, was cutting grass for the locations, and my mom, who used to be an inspector, was like helping them find other properties to utilize, and so it just became a big full circle family situation. That was extremely overwhelming, but in the best way. And so that's when I knew that this character had more, not just impact on me, but impact on my neighborhood as well. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Greg. I was wondering, what's your favorite thing about playing first responders on television?
I really I honestly really love my ride-along partner, like the actual paramedic. Her name was Michelle that I got to follow. And I really enjoyed just like spending time with them in the firehouse and stuff and going on rides with them, because it's like you're chopping it up, you're learning about their families, and then all of a sudden it's like this crazy, you really kind of take for granted sometimes like the worst day of someone's life and who comes to rescue you and who comes to save you. And so it's kind of like a working class superhero, being a first responder. And they really do, they're just as valuable to, I feel like, the fabric of our society as our service members. And so I thought that was really cool because they're truly like literally saving lives and making miracles happen every day. And it was cool to like play a superhero, but your power is just like your empathy and your knowledge and your expertise and your ability to stay cool under pressure, which is kind of inspiring because it's something that we could all tap into. Like everyone has the capability to be a hero, and I think that that's what's kind of cool about it.
Beautiful answer. Great question, bro. Any real first responders in the audience?
Yeah!
Thank you very much for the question.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and this is for my One Chicago family. Who has left from the shows that you missed?
Dora and Alberto. That's how I feel. No, we definitely had fun. And I feel like right when me and Alberto were getting cool, you know, he had finally just accepted my friendship a little bit. He had to walk away.
You were playing hard to get.
Yeah. I just get nervous, so I didn't really talk to people. For me, Eamon.
I miss Eamon.
I haven't seen Eamon.
I miss Eamon.
Same, Eamon Walker. I'll go Eamon Walker as well. Had a great conversation with Eamon Walker like right before he left. Oh my God.
Like whenever I talk to him, it's always like I feel like you're talking to someone that's lived many lives.
Come on, man.
He's the best person to like sit down and have a very stiff whiskey drink with.
Yep.
It's happening.
And he'll just blow your mind.
This happened with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really drink scotch. I remember Eamon Walker once upon a time picked me up from work like he knew my schedule. Because he had seen me do something that he wasn't the most impressed with outside of work. And I didn't even know he was there. He came to pick me up once, it was like, "Dad, just say goodnight to LaRoyce," and all of a sudden Eamon Walker was just right there in all of it. And he looked at me and he said, "You're coming with me."
You should tell people that he rides motorcycles.
He rides motorcycles. But he picked me up in like this 76 Pontiac, all black. And he took me to this bar that had like a skeleton on a motorcycle gyrating like gyro meat. I never felt welcome in this bar until Eamon Walker walked me in. As soon as we sat down, they put 2 scotches on the table. He didn't even make a noise. He was a regular. I was not. Trust me, it was his spot. I won't tell you the story because it gets a little deep, but Eamon put me in my place and I appreciate it. Let's clap it up for Eamon Walker.
Hi, my name is Victor. I'm from Mexico City, and my question is for anyone. Which movie or actor, if any, have inspired you to become an actor or to make you like, wow, that's pretty cool?
I'll answer quickly. Lately, Willem Dafoe, everything he does, I'm obsessed. Like, there's something about his work that this guy's a beast. Like, Willem Dafoe, he crosses genre, he plays these really interesting characters, he grounds them. I just, really recently, I'm like, I'm gonna watch everything he's been in from the beginning. And it's a cool journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, I loved Titanic when I was a kid, and that was one of those movies where I was like, I want to be in movies. And then, like, I think now, today, the people that I look up to are people like Margot Robbie, who have, like, made their own production companies, and like Reese Witherspoon, and, like, the way they've kind of, like, taken control of and taken agency of their career. So it's kind of, like, reinvigorating, like, oh yeah, like, what do you do this for? And then my favorite movie of all time is Almost Famous. I can watch it anytime. It's the perfect movie, and it's like Penny Lane forever. So yeah, I'm like, I just want to have like my Penny Lane moment.
It's on the way, Dora. It's on the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stefania. I'm also from Mexico, but I live in Dallas. And my question is for Kenny. What was your favorite, I guess, thing to shoot from the
about, you know, and obviously from that point on for the rest of the show is not about redeeming the character, but how do you humanize and try to make up for what you didn't know you had, which was a son. And so I think, look, when Freddie Highmore, you know, did the whole knife trying to stab me in the motel and come after me because he would split into Norma and think that, you know, accuse me of raping him over and over, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, those scenes like that were pretty iconic, and I mean, there's nothing in that show that I didn't find really super interesting and great. And obviously when I got locked up by Norma, which was really Norman, because Norma was dead, and Freddie's dressed up as Norma, and I'm having a conversation, and I'm actually going back and forth seeing Freddie, but knowing how fucked up he is, and knowing what happened with Norma, who's the love of my life. That's why they, you know, kept putting Norma in there, and Freddie, and Norma and Freddie dressed up as Norma. So it was all crazy. I mean, that whole show was crazy.
I got one wrong. Where can I find that?
Bates Motel?
Bro, I apologize. I missed it.
It was so good. It's like the prequel to Psycho. So when they even told me about it, I'm like, how do you make a TV show that's a prequel to like this iconic movie? And I didn't want anything to do with it. He said, just watch the pilot, and if you like the pilot, you know, and I watched the pilot, and I was like hooked, man. I was so freaking hooked. And then I got, you know, the offer to play her brother and come on as a series regular. I'm like, you know, yeah, it's you know, Vera Farmiga, fucking genius, you know, Party, and then Freddie Highmore, and they have Max, and they have Olivia Cook, who's now on that big series, what is this, The Dragon? House of the Dragons, yeah. Like, I mean, they're just, in the writing of Carlton Cuse and Terry Herman, it's just great. So, yeah, all there's not one scene I didn't love in that thing.
Did you take anything from the show?
Did I take anything?
Like a proper.
Yeah, no, I know. I even steal everything. Dude, my other show.
No, you gotta take it again.
I have clothes, wardrobe, I have things from, like, you know, the Shield. Let me think. I mean, that's the only show I was doing. No, just friendships, you know? Lifelong friendships. These guys are like my family. And Max is like one of my best friends now, you know? So, it's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Lifelong friendships. To be honest with you all, I take my handcuffs home every night. Next question.
I'm Allison from New York. We're hoping that my friends and I hope that At-War gets love interest this year, finally. But for Alberto and Melissa, one of my favorite scenes was the Zoom, the Zoom class. Can you say anything about filming that? Because it was so fun to watch. Do you remember anything from that?
I just remember it was a very energetic scene, and it was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So that was really tough. And so again, I think we were paying homage to teachers that had to change their way of still touching children and teaching them. And I was really honored to have that particular storyline play out on the show. So thank you so much for bringing that up. And we had a lot of fun.
We had so much fun.
Did you do something with a quarter? What was that other thing you were doing? Do you remember?
I do remember. I have a terrible memory.
Yeah, there was some kind of thing.
You were doing Mickey Laws of
But that whole thing was one of the scenes that I think the writers saw Daniel, Kyrie, and I were really working well together. So because of that, like Ritter and Gallo's friendship kept growing. Because I'm pretty sure that was one of the first ones, but it was one of the scenes that they're like, oh, you guys have like a really cool chemistry, and we haven't seen like either of your characters really come to life like this. So a lot of like Gallo comes from Ritter, because Ritter really kind of gave him his place. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've been given the sign.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.